Everyone talks about intelligence like it's a gift, like it's something you're born with, or not. That's a lie. Genius isn't born, it's built. And it starts with one shift no one ever told you about. It's not a productivity app, not a supplement, not even motivation. It's a hard mental switch that flips you from average to unstoppable. And the moment you activate it, everything changes. Focus, memory, clarity, action. Most people will never hear this. Even fewer will use it. But those who do, they start thinking differently. They move like outliers, they learn faster, see clearer, decide better. This isn't hype. It's the mindset hack that separates scattered minds from genius ones. And once you hear it, you'll never go back. The genius you admire, the thinker, the strategist, the innovator, isn't playing a different game. He's just playing by different rules, rules you've never been taught. Here's the truth. The foundation of genius is not intelligence. It's focus. And here's the real hack. Eliminate distraction, not sometimes, but ruthlessly. This is the gateway. This is the door most never walk through. Because genius isn't about IQ points. It's about the ability to go deep, to sit with a thought until it becomes something no one else could see, to resist the noise and train your brain like a blade. Think about it. Tesla didn't scroll. Da Vinci didn't multitask. Marcus Aurelius didn't check likes. They built mental worlds inside themselves because they had the discipline to go dark. The secret hack is cognitive isolation. You step away. You detach. You give your mind space to stretch. No input, no chaos, no endless stimuli. You give yourself time to get bored. Because boredom is the spark of depth. And depth is where genius is born. Most people think they need more information. They don't. They need less noise. You want to learn faster? Cut off the flood. Want to create brilliance? Starve the distractions. Want to unlock genius? Stop cramming. Start carving. Create boundaries like your life depends on it. 1 hour a day, completely undisturbed. No phone, no music, no noise. Your mind will resist at first in a way. It's addicted to dopamine. It craves the drip feed of novelty. But the second you step into silence, your brain panics, then reboots. And what comes out of that silence? Ideas no one else can reach. Connections no one else can make. That's not a theory, that's biology. Your brain is plastic, moldable, but only if you stop feeding it garbage. You don't need to be a genius. You just need to stop thinking like everyone else. Here's the shift. Average minds consume. Genius minds create. Average minds react. Genius minds reflect. Average minds chase. Genius minds construct. And all of that starts with this one, simple, brutal habit. Protect your attention like it's your soul. You want to outperform everyone around you. Then do what they refuse to do. Be alone with your mind, on purpose. That's the forge. That's where your edge is built. Now that you've heard the secret, here comes the test. Can you protect your attention long enough to turn it into power? Because the mind doesn't just wander, it escapes. And every time it escapes, it takes a piece of your potential with it. Modern life is designed to fracture you. Notifications, trends, opinions. It chips away at your identity until you're just a reflection of what the world wants from you. But when you begin to fight back, when you say, "No, this time is mine," you shift the axis of your life. This is what you need to understand. The one who controls his focus and controls his future. You don't need 10 hacks, you need one. The ability to lock in and shut the world out. Because here's the truth. You cannot build an empire with a shattered mind. You cannot find clarity in chaos. And you cannot win at life if your attention is for sale. Start small, but go deep. 1 hour a day, no inputs, no noise. Sit, read, think, write. Train your attention like a warrior trains his blade. Sharpen it in silence. You will feel pain, withdrawal, restlessness. That's proof that you've been enslaved. But if you push through it, if you stay just 5 minutes longer than your discomfort wants you to, you take back a piece of yourself. And here's what happens next. Your thoughts become heavier, not in weight but in value. You start to see patterns others miss. You start connecting dots others can't even see. You begin to build something original. And that's the beginning of real genius. Not copying, not mimicking, but creating from the fire you forged in solitude. And it gets better. Because this habit doesn't just sharpen your mind, it builds your will. Discipline in one area spills over into every other. You start to eat better. You move more, you speak with clarity. You carry yourself with quiet confidence, the kind that doesn't beg for attention but commands it. Your life becomes a reflection of your inner order. Because genius is not loud, it's not flashy, it's not dramatic, it's precise, it's patient, and it's powerful. Most people burn out chasing stimulation. You will burn brighter in the dark. But here's the part no one talks about. Genius is lonely at first. When you stop living like the masses, you stop fitting in. People will say you've changed, and you have. You're no longer available for mediocrity, no longer addicted to distraction, no longer buying the lie that being busy equals being valuable. You're doing something most people will never dare, becoming fully alive in your own mind. And here's the promise. Stay on this path long enough, and the world begins to follow you. Not because you shouted the loudest, but because you became the clearest. So stay in the silence. Stay in the structure. Keep the gates of your mind sealed from the storm. Because the most dangerous man is not the one who knows everything. It's the one who can think clearly while everyone else is drowning in noise. And if you think this is the end of the lesson, you're wrong. The most powerful transformation comes next. And it's not just mental, it's physical, emotional, and spiritual. Keep watching. The next part will change how you see your entire life. Let's get one thing straight. You are not born disciplined. You become disciplined. And you become it by deciding, every single day, to serve something higher than your excuses. You don't rise because you feel ready. You rise because you've had enough of being average. That's the real difference. Some people wake up and check their phones. You wake up and check your mission. And here's where it starts to change your life. When your standards rise higher than your emotions, when your identity gets heavier than your mood, you stop negotiating with weakness. This is the power of obsession, but not the loud, frantic kind. Not the type that burns out after a week. I'm talking about the silent, sacred kind. The kind that lives in your bones. The kind that says, I will do this even if no one believes in me. I will keep going even when the world goes silent. I will not break, even if everything inside me wants to give up. That obsession becomes your edge. Because talent fades, looks fade, luck runs out. But discipline grows sharper every day you use it. That's the moment your life flips. You no longer wait for permission. You don't wait for motivation. You move with force, even in doubt. Because now your behavior is aligned with a code. You eat with discipline. You speak with clarity. You train with intensity. You rest with purpose. You say no without guilt. You walk into rooms like you belong, not because of arrogance, but because of alignment. The average man chases pleasure. The dangerous man builds purpose. Every thought, every action, every breath. That's when people start asking you what changed, and you don't even know how to answer. Because the truth is, it wasn't one moment. It was 1,000 quiet battles no one saw. You chose strength when comfort was available. You chose integrity when shortcuts whispered. You chose to show up when no one would have blamed you for quitting. And now, your life is unrecognizable. This is what no one tells you. The highest level of strength is not physical. It's not mental. It's spiritual. It's the unbreakable commitment to become the man you respect. Even when no one is watching, you no longer react to life. You create it. But let me ask you this. Who are you when it's dark? Who are you when it's hard? Who are you when no one is clapping? If your answer is, still me, then you're already ahead of 95% of people. If not, don't panic. Just decide. Today, I start becoming that man. Not tomorrow, not Monday, now. Because everything changes when you stop lying to yourself. When you stop saying someday and start saying, this is who I am. And if you've made it this far in the video, then I know something about you. You're done making excuses. You're ready to build your life from the inside out. So here's what you do now. Hit that subscribe button. Not for me, but for the future you. Drop a comment. I'm building my mind. And like this video if it woke something up in you, because we're just getting started. The next part will show you how this shift in mindset becomes unstoppable momentum. One that rewires your brain, your energy, and the results you get in the real world. Let's keep going. You've come too far to stop now. Let's talk about the real world now. Not theories, not feel-good quotes, results. Because a man who learns to discipline his focus begins to reshape everything around him. Your body changes, your relationships change, your money changes, your energy changes. Your eyes, they get sharper, because your vision is no longer cloudy with distractions. You become a force in the room, not because you speak louder, but because you speak less and mean more. That's the kind of presence that shakes people. People don't respect noise, they respect clarity, they respect control, they respect consistency. And if you've mastered those things, you don't just get results, you become respected. And that is a currency most men never earn. Let's be real. You can't fake work ethic. You can't fake grit. You can't fake the glow in a man's eyes who's been through hell and came out standing taller. You either built it or you didn't. And the man who built it, he walks different. He speaks different. He decides faster. He executes faster. He doesn't ask permission. He doesn't explain himself. Because he already paid the price in silence, in sweat, in isolation. This is the man who walks into any storm and says, I've bled before. I'll bleed again, but I don't break. And here's where most people fail. They think they'll feel like doing the hard things. They wait for motivation. They wait for the schedule to clear. They wait for the fear to go away. Let me save you years. Stop waiting, start building. If you wake up tired and move anyway. If you're afraid, speak anyway. If you feel weak, train anyway. The act will change the identity. The motion rewires the mind. And soon, the man who was unsure, inconsistent, invisible, becomes unshakable. People will say, you've changed. Damn right you did. You had to. Because the world you want doesn't come to the man who waits. It comes to the man who works while the world sleeps. Who focuses while others scroll. Who shows up when no one else will. And guess what happens next? The respect comes. The impact comes. The money follows. The peace grows. And you look in the mirror and finally see a man worth following. Not just by others, but by your own soul. That's the ultimate win, when the man inside you trusts the man you've become. So if you're still here, if your heart is beating faster, if your gut is telling you, I needed this, then this is your confirmation. Your old story is done. This is the chapter where you rise. There's a reason you're still here. Because something in your spirit knows the truth. Greatness doesn't scream. It whispers. It whispers when the world is loud. It whispers when no one claps. It whispers when it's just you. And pain. See, genius is not what you think it is. It's not being born gifted. It's not having special luck. It's being willing to face the silence no one else dares to sit in. It's showing up for yourself, even when no one's watching. It's doing the reps no one counts. It's keeping the promise no one will ever know you made. That's what builds the kind of mind people call genius. Not a gift, but a grind. Let me be clear with you. The genius mind is not loud. It's not erratic. It's not dramatic. It's quiet. It's precise. It's brutally honest. Because that mind knows how to filter distractions, how to protect its energy, how to keep the vision alive while walking through fire. You want to build that kind of mind? Then start respecting your own time. Start choosing hard things over cheap pleasure. Start cutting dead weight, people, habits, excuses. Because every time you choose silence over noise, discipline over impulse, pain over comfort, you are sculpting a man that even chaos can't shake. And here's the twist. The more you train that mind, the more the world starts to bend in your direction. Opportunities come to you. People start listening to you. Your presence becomes magnetic. Your energy becomes undeniable. Not because you tried to be impressive, but because you became someone real, someone rare, someone dangerous. Make no mistake, A man who is clear, focused, and emotionally forged in fire is dangerous to a society that wants you weak, distracted, addicted, and afraid. They want you docile. They want you to scroll. They want you to need their validation. But the moment you detach from the noise, you become something they can't control. And that's when the genius in you awakens. The man who builds in the dark commands the light. Because while others are busy explaining their trauma, you are out there turning pain into power. While others complain about being misunderstood, you are mastering your craft in silence. While they seek comfort, you seek clarity. That's what makes you dangerous. That's what makes you brilliant. That's what makes you free. So here's the final truth. You don't need more information. You need execution. You need ownership. You need to look in the mirror and ask, am I proud of the man I'm becoming? If the answer is no, fix it, not tomorrow. Now. Because this life doesn't wait. This mind doesn't build itself. And the genius inside you? He's starving for you to stop negotiating with your weakness. So burn the excuses. Cut the lies. Kill the noise. And build the man who walks into every room with a quiet storm in his chest and a fire in his eyes. Because when that man speaks, the world listens. Genius isn't a spark. It's a decision. It's the decision to keep rising every time life knocks you down. It's becoming the man who refuses to stay broken. Because in the end, that's what makes you unstoppable. Not the talent, not the applause, but the fire that never dies, even when everything else does. The world will test you. It will try to break you. It will throw silence, chaos, betrayal, and pain at you. But if you hold the line, if you keep showing up with your soul intact, there is nothing they can take from you. Not your mind, not your peace, not your purpose. So rise now, walk tall, and make a promise to yourself that you'll never break again. Because the greatest rebellion is to suffer and still become whole. If this video hit you hard, click the one on the screen and learn from Rocky Balboa what it really means to take the hits and keep moving forward. Like, comment, subscribe, and never hand over your soul.